Adam, the last time we talked to you, we talked to you about sort of all you had to kind of go through at home there for a little bit, and all that your wife had to deal with to get you to be able to pitch. Does today count as a present, or do you still have to go shopping after all of that?
No, I got her some flowers, and we'll take care of her the rest of the day. But there's really not enough presents or flowers in the world for all our moms do for us and our wives do for us, is there? I mean, she's my wife's the most incredible lady in the whole world. I'm convinced of it. So, but I got a couple of moms I got to thank. Obviously, my mom for getting me here, for raising me up right, and always sacrificing for me. But also Jenny's mom at home right now, who's taking care of Jenny while I'm here. So she's kind of put her life on hold to come up here and help Jenny and help me and take care of our kiddos. And so I want to thank all three of them. But yeah, this was especially special for my girl at home.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is sort of the importance, the extra special nature of having a day like today with all that kind of in your rearview mirror, or I guess ongoing, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, if I just being real honest, I was a little bit distracted last game. I just was. Didn't try not to be, but there was a lot going on, and I was worried about my girl. So when when those moments kind of happen, you really realize. I mean, I already knew, but you really realize how much people mean to you.
Katie, what was the athletic?
All right, Waino, I'm going to make sure I ask this question correctly, as your catcher just reminded me that there's nothing wrong with turning 40. But you're 39 years old. This is your second complete game attempt in 3 tries. You're going out and you're dominating almost every performance, and you're having fun. Can you explain what's kind of made this happen for you to come out here and be able to do what you've been doing?
I mean, I got sort of a new lease on life with my career a few years ago. 2019, I started feeling good again, and that was a lot of work put in from a lot of special people, our training staff, our nutritionists, my wife. Had to complete life change with the diet I was eating, with the way I was working out. But our training staff, with the addition of Jason Shudd and Thomas Knox and Adam Olson and Chris Conroy, they really, really poured into me and helped me recover in a way that, I just wouldn't been able to keep playing without their sacrifices and without their service is just incredible. We're so blessed here with the Cardinals, and those guys kind of nursed me back, So at 40, I'm almost 40. I'm not 40 yet. Usually Kamish is the one that asks me the no offense questions, but at 39, I can't even tell you how much younger I feel than when I was 36, 37. I mean, it's just not even close. So 30, especially 35, 36, I was feeling pretty low, pretty bad. So it's good to feel good again and go out there and make pitches.
Given all of that and that new lease on your age and on life there, do you think that when you factor in all these things, like the uncertainty over the offseason and the question marks that were kind of surrounding the pitching staff coming into this season, do you feel it as a responsibility or a point to prove to come out there and command this pitching staff every 5th day?
Well, I mean, Jack's 6-0 right now. He's doing a pretty good job leading this staff himself. But I have a great time outperforming expectations. That is something I really relish. And people are just a lot of people saw me a few years ago and thought I was done, rightfully so, by the way. And each time I'm pitching, I know there's people out there that think I'm too old to go out and pitch 9 innings. So I'm having fun. Even if there isn't anybody out there doing that, I think there is. And so that motivates me. But I know there is. There's a lot of people.
Last one from me. I'll make it quick. The running joke is that everyone would like, that your curveball hasn't aged either. In that moment in the top of the 9th where it was, went up and in on Story and everyone seemed to know that curve was coming. He knew that curve was coming and you still got it past him. What does that say about that pitch and what it's been able to do for you?
Well, I mean, I'm not even a big leaguer without my curveball. I'm just an average Joe without that. So it's been a special pitch for me. It's been a career maker pitch for me my whole career, but it's evolved. It used to be more kind of 12-6 and a little bigger break on it. And then it kind of got a little sideways when I had to change my arm slot a few years ago. And then it's, kind of back in between now, a little slurvy, but, got better spin now. I can really rip through the end of the pitch better these last couple of years than I had the years prior to that. So it's fun for me, for me, it's a pitch that I can get back into counts with because it's a command pitch. I know I'm going to throw for a strike when I want to. And it's a pitch I can get guys to swing and miss in the dirt. I don't really have any other pitches that I can use in, 12 different ways like that. So it's been a good one for me. I wouldn't be here without it. That's for sure.
Thanks, Waino. I appreciate it.
Rick Hummel, St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
What does 400 games in a Cardinal uniform as a pitcher mean to you? You pinch hit a few times. I'm not counting those, but the 400 games you pitched, what does that mean?
Why aren't you counting those? I used to be able to hit. I absolutely terrible now, but I used to be able to hit.
Your 419 games as a Cardinal, what does that mean to you?
Is it 400 start? Or
something like 400 game, 400 pitches, appearances on the mound.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's a lot. That sounds like almost like reliever type stuff. And I got a few relief appearances in there too, for sure. But just very blessed to be here for as long as I have been. I don't take it for granted that most people don't get to play in the same spot their whole careers like I have been. And I certainly don't take it for granted that I've gotten to play here. So what a tremendous blessing it's been to me to be a Cardinal and to be a St. Louisan for as long as I have.
What was the balk about?
So we were running through signs and I shook all the way through all the pitches that I had. And so I assumed the next one was going to be the one I was looking for. And he went back to a different pitch. And so I kind of stutter stepped. He got me. It was a balk. It was, in the weakest sense of the word, he was a balk. At no point in time am I trying to deceive a runner, but it is a balk, So, yeah, it was my fault. I assumed the next pitch that he was going to put the next fingers he was going to put down were the pitch I was expecting, and it wasn't. It was my fault.
What are some of the reasons for your success against the Rockies over your career? Now, some of those games were pitched in Colorado too. They weren't all pitched here, and your record is 11-1, and the ERA is like a run and a half.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got fairly good numbers in Coors too. I love going to Denver. It's one of my favorite places. I love Coors Field, Coors Stadium. Coors Field. I love Coors Field, even though I don't know the name of it. I love to go there and fish and play golf, but I love to go there and pitch too. It doesn't make any sense, but I've had great success there, and I just feel good on that mound for whatever reason, and I think it's another one of those things where people don't expect you to go in there and pitch well. So it like kind of chaps my hide a little bit, which probably means I need to lock it in, in good pitchers parks more often, like Pittsburgh, where I pitch like a dog a lot of times. So there's sometimes in baseball, there's those teams that you've just kind of had their number and there's no rhyme or reason to it. And sometimes teams have your number and there's no rhyme or reason to that either. Just, it's just one of those things.
Now, you had a chance to help yourself a couple of times today. They walked guy ahead of you twice intentionally, and twice the result was the same. Strike out.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me, Commish. There it is. There, see, Katie, those are the questions he asked. Yeah, I mean, I got no explanations for it except for I'm just in a deep slump and I'm seeing the ball terrible. But the great thing about slumps is the deeper you go into it, the closer you are to being really hot. And I am certainly deep in the slump, and I know they're going to throw, breaking balls every pitch, and I just stink right now. I mean, there's just no way around it. And it's frustrating. I almost pulled a muscle. I was so mad after the first one, and then I almost pulled a muscle again. I was so mad after the second one. I'm getting real sick and tired of getting out, though. I can tell you that, especially striking out. That is just terrible.
And last one, how did that conversation go with Schulte when he came running to the mound in the ninth?
He was just checking to see if we were, had a plan and course of action for Blackman, and we did. We was just checking on. It was more of a conversation between Yachty and I. We were deciding what to do in that situation. I cannot give in to Charlie. He's a great hitter. He definitely hit the hardest balls off me all day, and has had has had some hits off me in the past. So he's an all-star type player. You just can't give in right there. So I didn't throw the pitches exactly I wanted to throw. I was trying to get him to fish a little bit just off the corner away and see if he could put a ball on the ground for us. But in that situation, I wasn't giving in. And unfortunately, I knew if I saw, we had somebody warming up, I knew if I didn't get him, I knew I was probably out, but I also knew that passing the baton was better than me being selfish and throwing one over the middle of the plate to their best hitter.
Thank you.
Brendan Schaefer, KMOB.
We know you talk about coming back from not feeling good a few years ago. Does that make it impossible to ever take for granted the good way you feel now when you go out and pitch?
It does. And it also makes me think, gosh, I wish I could have gone back 10 years ago and done some of the things I'm doing now. But every situation is a situation to learn from and to grow from. So, I mean, if I would have been stubborn about things and decided that I'm not doing anything different, I'm not changing anything, then I would have been out of the game 3 years ago. And there's no denying that. So I had a desire to keep playing, and I tried to change a lot of things up and ended up working. So very, very good point that, once you've been kind of, almost at the lowest of lows, as far as the way I felt, my body felt, when you're feeling good again, it makes you smile, more. I do not take it for granted. I feel myself smiling a lot more nowadays than I did a few years ago. I'm having more fun for sure.
Tom Timmerman, St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
Adam, could you detect any excitement on Yadi's part playing in front of his mother today?
I didn't know she was here, but it doesn't surprise me that she was here and he got a couple of hits. I mean, if anytime he's got family in town, you can sign him up for at least 2 hits and usually a home run too. So, but his mom's a sweetie, just a great person and great, just gives great hugs, and I know he loves performing in front of his family, and when she's here, he's going to do great.
Randy Carricker, ESPN 101.
Adam, we know how much you like getting that 27th out. How bad, when you went out for the start of the 9th inning, how bad did you want to finish that inning in that game? Yeah,
real bad. I don't like starting the 9th and not finishing it. But starting the 9th is still cooler than not starting the 9th, It's a feeling where I was locked in. Honestly, I felt really good. If I got McMahon out, he swung first pitch, cut her in. If I get McMahon out, I come right at Charlie. I just come right after him, and we'll see what happens. But when he got the hit, I knew I had to be really careful. You don't like pitching careful all the time. I don't like pitching careful all the time because then you end up guiding pitches or whatever. But I was not going to give in. I really like finishing the game. When you start it and you finish it, there's a great feeling that comes along with that. But I'm glad we got the win. That was the main thing.
Thank you.
For Waino, Benjamin Hockman, St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
Hey, Adam, real quick, just wanted to ask about Nolan Arenado. One thing, as reporters during the pandemic, we don't get to be in the clubhouse and see the interactions and on the field during the warm-ups and the batting practice. So I was just curious if you can describe the energy and the vibe that Arenado has brought to this club on a daily basis. Clearly it's working. You guys are winning a bunch of ball games.
Yeah, I think it's just an overall sense of confidence, that we have a couple of the best players in all of baseball in the middle of our lineup, which is, not many people can say that for their teams. But then we have a great group of young players surrounding them that is really exciting to watch, that are stepping up. How fun is watching Tommy and Dylan get on base for those 2 boppers behind them? That's something that I don't think we've had that complete of a lineup in a while. So it reminds me kind of our 13 team, our 14 team, where we had a lot of different ways we could beat you. And now we got some speed too, which is something that I don't think we've had in quite a long time, is so many guys who can steal a base and go first to third and run triples out and play great defense in the field. We got some guys who can really run too. So, having Nolan in the thick of that, there's just a sense of confidence where you look out and you go, gosh, we got a pretty good squad. We might do some cool things. And when you got that good vibe going, and you can do some cool things, and you're a dangerous team.